Well, welcome to Hamilton County TV. I'm Perry Williams, and once again, it's time for the David Sharpe Show. Welcome, Dave.
Hi, Perry. Good to see you as always.
Good to see you, Coach. Well, let's talk a little bit about, we're in Hoosier Crossroad time, and every week is a battle. Let's talk a little bit about the past game against the Westfield Shamrocks.
Well, we didn't tackle well at all, and it's easy to say tackle that guy, but when those guys are Trayvon Hatchett and Micah Hauser and the fine receivers they have, they can make you look silly, and they can turn a 5-yard gain into an 80-yard gain, and that's what happened. And I know Coach Metz and Coach Solon, our defensive staff, are embarrassed about our performance defensively, especially in the first half, and we're looking to correct it, and we're taking the necessary steps to get in slightly better position, to be slightly better technique, so that next time a Zionsville receiver catches the ball for a gain of 5 or gets a gain of 5, we got to get them down. And the Westfield made us go 18 plays, 80 yards, something like. They made us do it the old-fashioned, hard way, and we were trying to do the same thing, but easier said than done. And they got the huge explosive plays, and we just couldn't keep up. And our kids did find tons of positives. I'm very proud of the way we fought and got back to 14-7, and we drove right before half down 21-7. Had a legitimate chance of getting it 21-14 right before half, but we tried to sneak Logan deep on a 3 vertical route, and Micah picked it off. But felt like that was a necessary risk. We had to try to get that thing within 7 before half, and but they're very good. They're very good. I haven't seen the other teams in our league on tape, but I find it hard to believe that another team is more talented than Westfield in our conference. So we look forward to playing them again in the sectionals, because I think our kids know that they can play a lot better. Now, they're still a great team, but we can do better. We can definitely do better.
Yeah, because basically, what our offense is supposed to do, we did. We dominated the clock. I mean,
That's what we did, with the exception of the first 2 drives, and we dug that hole that for some reason we get ourselves into, and that second drive of the game, we were doing just fine. We got into a 4th and 1, which we're totally comfortable with, and we flinch and jump off sides, and we have to punt, and our kids know the mental discipline it takes. Like, I know we can be kind of boring or vanilla to some people to watch offensively. I get that, but the amount of energy and effort to go in to get one little gain of 4 against a defense like Westfield, that takes a ton of energy and effort, and our kids do not take that for granted. And I'm so proud of the way we fought, and I love the buy-in that we have with our personnel this year. We're always gonna be a wing tee based kind of attack, and with the personnel we have this year, we feel like we have good power backs. Alaric Rogers, Brian Gomez, Parker Bell, those guys are perfect for what we want. They're not blazers by any stretch of the imagination, but they know how to get those tough yards and grind out 4, 5, 6 yard carries. They did that against Westfield. And then, of course, Logan Schaffner is perfect for what we want to do as well. We want to hide him behind everybody, and we couldn't quite squirt him free like we had the previous few weeks. So we're getting healthier as a team, and it's this group, though, we know that we can do those 15 play drives if we have to, and we've proven that we can score quickly as well. And I hope against Zionsville we can do a little bit of both. I'd like to get a couple of big plays and also a couple of big long drives, and try to gobble up that time of possession as usual. But we have a lot of younger players that they're not necessarily the Alaric Rogers type or the Brian Gomez type, the big, thick power back. So we're starting to tweak our system with our younger kids. We have amazing athletes in the freshman class. Kids like Aiden Brewer and Max Miller and Shepard Coyne and Bryce Engler, Indy Wilhelm, Aiden Widget, his brother Blake Widget, of course, the sophomore that we use in unique ways. And it's like these guys are different types of players, and they can allow us to run different variations of our system without losing our power identity. So I'm excited about continuing this year, but we had our JV game and our freshman game with Westfield this weekend, and both games, man, were fought down to the wire. We took the lead late in the fourth quarter in both, and then they won the game with less than a minute left in both. So our kids feel like we're close to being there, and with our rival right down the street. And I know that with the kids we have coming up, we feel very confidently that we can adapt and find different ways to advance the ball against Westfield and find different ways to stop them as well.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about this week's game against Zionsville. Both of you are 2-2 now, and once again, you're going to see a good offense. It's a balanced attack. I think they got over 500 yards passing to 4 or 5 different receivers, and they got, Price as good as they come as a running back, and so is 21 Bankers. I mean, both of those are both seniors, experienced running backs. So our hands are full again this week.
It's 100% Price, and he started as a freshman. Now he's a senior. I don't know what his stats are. I would guess he's got 4,000, maybe 5,000 yards rushing, and he's way bigger than you think he is. I just remember seeing him last year in person. It's like he's a legitimate 6'1", 6'2", and as thick as anybody. And he he does not go down, and he runs probably a 4.5 40, and they love outside zone with him, and he's tailor-made to be an outside zone running back. He gets that burst, he's stretching you wide, and then he just picks a gap and knifes upfield. And we've seen it for many years now with him in Zionsville. And what they're doing a little differently this year is they're not afraid to flex him out as a receiver or a slot and get him the ball as a receiver or in the screen game or in a gadget play as well. And like you said, that they feel very confident in the other running back to kind of carry the load when he is as a receiver. And they have great receivers as well. The Firestone kid is about 6'4", and he's a jump ball threat.
Yeah, because actually Price leads the team in receiving too with 158.
Yeah.
Firestone 142. So. Right.
So great offense, great scheme they've got going over there, and then defensively, they're. We feel they have 2 really solid inside linebackers, 13 or 44, kind of like really got our attention on the scouting report. And those guys both started against us last year and had great seasons last year. And we know that's going to be a challenge when you have experience returning at the inside linebacker with what we do, and they're comfortable playing against us. They'll be a good challenge for us this week as well.
Yeah. Coach, we talked about a little bit, and I mentioned it a while ago. This week is homecoming, and you were making a comment before we went on the air. It's so wonderful to be in a community where they have a downtown. There's a town identity to Noblesville. So and it's been showing in our crowds.
Right.
We're drawing that people want good football here in Noblesville.
It is cool, and a lot of football coaches hate homecoming, but I'm kind of embracing it. My drive home from high school every day, I live on the western part of Noblesville, so I drive through downtown, I drive through the square, and it's just kind of like it's probably the best part of my day, to be honest. Just like kind of like seeing what a cool town it is, and I'm still pretty new here, but you're right. Last year the parade was canceled because of the COVID, but this year we're going to do it, and I'm looking forward to it. Our kids are all excited about it. I think today's like Hawaiian shirt day, and so you just see the kids are all dressed up all goofy all week, and it's given us a little jolt of energy after such a humiliating loss to our rival school in Westfield. But you're right, 'cause some of these other teams in our conference, they're towns that just popped up 10 years ago, basically, or 15, the population boom, and there's not really that homegrown identity that Noblesville has, and that was when I decided to apply for this job. That was, number one was like, what an identity. I heard nothing but great things about the fan support and the school system in general. So I'm super proud to be in Miller, and I can't wait for my first parade.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one thing about it, Coach, we at Hamilton County TV, once again, will be broadcasting your game here. You know, the one thing going into last year, you know, with the pandemic and everything, nobody being in the stands, I actually thought that possibly we would have less viewers, okay, this season because people could come to the football game. But now, you know, we had a great crowd when we played at Mount Vernon going on the road. Terre Haute South was a great crowd here at home. You know, went to Westfield, both sides, and you know, all the energy of our student bodies are really, really exciting.
It is.
It makes for that really cool Friday Night Lights football.
It does, and you know, the best feeling on a Friday night, and Coach Metz and Coach Sala, they tell you the same thing. Coach Jasper, all of our assistant coaches, when we're on offense, Coach Metz and Coach Sala are coaching up the defense, and they're all huddled around. They have no idea what's going on, and like when they hear the roar of the crowd, it's just like, oh, that's a jolt. It's like something good just happened. That's good. It's the same thing with us when our D's on the field and we're coaching them up on the bench and our backs are turned. We're not exactly sure if it's first down, second down. Then we hear a little roar. It's just like, oh, that's good. That's good news. I don't know what's going on, but it's good news. And you pop your head over and see, hopefully a good play from the other side. And it's like, that's just, those crowds don't exist. I've coached at other schools before, and the Noblesville crowds are definitely the best.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun because, you know, I grew up here, been around here for a long time and left for about 20 years and then come back. And it's still the same. That homecoming day, I mean, as far as like Friday night, the class of 1972 will be honored.
Right.
And also the class of 1997. I mean, 50 and 25 years. And of course, the 50 year, they're about my age group, or they're a little bit younger. So it's pretty nice and there's a lot of people that come back just for homecoming. Okay, so it's kind of a great feeling.
It is, and we want the town to be we want the alumni to be so proud of the way that we play, and the N on our helmet, it means a lot to a lot of people. It means a lot to our kids,
yeah,
but it means a lot to their parents, and it means a lot to people like you and other people that just love the town, and that's why we are adamant that we are going to win or lose in a classy fashion. We're going to play as hard as we can. We charter low, like we do not want the town thinking that we're going to play a kid that's lazy. We don't want the town thinking we're going to play a kid that plays dirty. We don't want the town thinking that we're ever going to give up. And whether we win or lose, we hope to represent Noblesville in a great way.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, as you know, being from here and everything, I spent a lot of time around town and know a lot of people that were back here in the 70s and the 80s and talking to them, and they're definitely seeing a better football team on the field this year. I mean, you know, because of the experience of our coaching staff,
yeah,
and you, and the players' commitment. You can see it. I mean, you can see that this group of kids and coaches are committed to making Noblesville a winner.
I think we're all 100 of us in this locker room down here we're all having much better time. We're having a lot more fun. The communication is even more crystal clear than it was last year. But right now, we had 2 wins last year. We have 2 wins this year. We got to get some wins. We have to make sure all this hard work is rewarded at 9:30, 10 o'clock on a Friday night. That scoreboard has to eventually start saying the Millers have a few more points than the Eagles, and then next week the Flashes, and then the Royals, and so forth. And our kids are hungry, but we let one get way out of hand way too quickly on Friday night, and that's a lesson to be learned. It's ancient history now, and I love the resiliency of the group. We brought them in Monday morning at 7 a.m. and they're 100% already on top of the Zionsville scouting report. And it's a great thing about football. It's a 7-day lifetime. It's like you work so hard for 7 days, and then bam, 10 o'clock on Friday night, you kind of have to just get over it and get ready for the next week. So it's a unique way to make a living. It's a unique sport to play because, you know, basketball's you might have a Tuesday game, a Friday game, a Saturday game, and this is just
one time a week.
One time a week, and that's what makes it that's why college football, NFL is so popular. It's like you gear up, you watch your team on Saturday or Sunday, or in our case, Friday night. What a great sport. Great way to make a living.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, good luck this week against a good Zionsville team, and go Millers.
Go Millers. Thanks, Perry.